So one of the things that helped me get out of the moon cult back in 1976 was the work of Robert J. Lifton, who was a military intelligence psychiatrist in the 50s studying Chinese communist brainwashing techniques. And he wrote a landmark book called The Thought Reform and the Psychology of Totalism. And in this book, he outlined 8 criteria that any environment may be judged as a brainwashing or a thought reform environment. And that book was critical, and that model was critical to helping me understand what had happened to me in terms of my recruitment into the Moonies, the 3-day workshop, the 7-day workshop, and all the other indoctrination features. And based on his model, I developed the BITE model of mind control. The B stands for behavior control, then there's information control, thought control, and emotional control. And under each one, and this is on my website at freedomofmind.com, sleep deprivation, change of name, change of clothing, being in a controlled environment with rewards and punishment, needing to ask permission, and information control, where the group doesn't give you informed consent when they're recruiting you. They either lie to you, or they hold back critical information, or they distort information, or they use information from other sources to manipulate you, to make you feel like you're having mystical experiences, when in fact it was information supplied either by you or by someone else about you. They use spies, they have you do confessions and use that material against you. And essentially, the BITE model offers my cutting edge approach for how anyone can evaluate whether or not they've been a victim of mind control. And in the new book, Freedom of Mind, I'm shifting away from the term mind control because it elicits the idea of somehow somebody with chips in your brain or some type of puppeteer holding it, which in some ways is the case psychologically. But we're moving towards the term undue influence, which is a legal term, which talks about how a discrepancy of power is used to undermine a person's ability to think for themselves and make good decisions for themselves. And so models have been developed now. My friend Alan Shefflin, law professor at Santa Clara University, for example, has developed a model where you take into account the predisposing vulnerabilities of a person, as well as the sophisticated techniques of influence that an individual or group are using to combine to basically create what we refer to in the mental health field as a dissociative disorder, where a person is split from themselves and a new cult identity is created to suppress their real identity. And so the question that people ask me often is, well, how do you know if you're under undue influence or mind control, or that you've been brainwashed? And what I say is you wouldn't. That's part of the dilemma, because your operating system, your mind, has been co-opted if you have been. And so for me, the answer really is you need to take a time out from the environment that you're in and the people who are influencing you. You need to go to a separate geographical location and separate yourself from that. You need to study models of mind control and undue influence, including Lifton's model and the BITE model. You need to deliberately seek out critical information about the leader, the doctrine, and the group, or the people that you are involved with, which is directly in contradiction to what the group tells you. Don't talk to those people, they're negative. Or don't talk to those people, they've fallen away from God. Or those people are under Satan's control. You want to find out for yourself and trust that you have the ability to know and to fact check whether or not things are true or not. And in that context, I ask people to reflect back when they first met the person or first met the group, what did they think they were getting involved with? And compare it with what they now know, having been involved with the group for weeks or months or years. And ask themselves the question, if I knew then what I know now, would I have ever gotten involved? And if the answer is not in a million years, then you know that you've been under undue influence. And congratulations, you're on your way to freedom. Take care.